up guys, this is Grant from Iron Supply. Today we're gonna do a little supplement review. So Nutrition Depot sent over some stuff, lots of Nutrabio stuff over here. So I'm just gonna go through each one of them, what I think of them. Some of them I've already tried. I'll let you guys know how I feel about them. So first one here, we have vitamin C and rosehip bioflavonoids. So it's 1 gram of vitamin C per capsule. So it's a yes to vitamin C, fairly basic, very well researched. However, I am not sure what rosehip extract does. I doubt it does anything significant. But you know what, it's vitamin C, definitely a good idea to take it, especially with the COVID situation. Alright, and the second item we got here is some echinacea. Not very familiar with this. When I checked, it said it was there to boost your immune system as well. Supposedly helps with respiratory infections. But honestly, it seems like the effects aren't exactly that significant either. Something that you probably wouldn't need to take. I wouldn't spend for it, but I guess since it's already here, might as well take it as well. Alright, next one here. Some creatine monohydrate. So this one, as usual, per scoop, 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. Another essential supplement. One of the most studied supplements in the market. Can help increase power output, increases muscle hydration, also potentially increases cognitive performance, particularly in aging populations. It's cheap, it's effective, definitely something you want to get your hands on. Very useful stuff. So just some questions on creatine here. The first one was, nakakapanot ba ang creatine? No, I don't think so. The literature doesn't seem to support that. If they're balding, it might be just because of age, genetics, or maybe they're taking other things that might induce baldness, but I'm not so sure. The second question here was, do you get stomach aches with creatine? Personally, no. And if you check the literature, there's not a lot about negative side effects of creatine supplementation. Usually when you see them, that's caused by people taking too much. So a lot of brands will say you have to load your creatine. You have to take 4-5 servings a day for a couple of days, and that usually causes a lot of bloating for some, gives them the shits. But that's kind of why I like this brand. So Nutrabio, their suggested use here is to just take 1 scoop daily, so that's fairly honest. I guess you can trust them with that. So yeah, also increases your muscle hydration. So that's why people think when you're taking creatine you bloat, but actually that water goes into your muscles. That's a good thing. So don't take it out when you're cutting. That's a common myth. Just, you know what, have it like every day if you want. Helps with recovery, muscle mass, whatever. So it does do a lot of nice things. So if you had to pick a supplement, I would go with creatine monohydrate. So they did not send this one over. I actually bought it myself. This is Redcon 1 Total War Vice City. I think it's supposed to be a piña colada, but I'm not sure. Tastes good though, just not sure if it's piña colada. So this one is definitely one of my favorites. Tastes great, mixes well, and the dosing is really good. So citrulline malate here, 6 grams, beta-alanine 3.2, and caffeine anhydrous at 250 mg. So again, it tastes good, it's well dosed, decently priced, and it's from a reputable brand. Might as well just go through some of the questions about pre-workout. Number 1, what do I look for in a pre-workout? So for me, I like to look at 3 things. Mainly your caffeine content, your citrulline malate, and your beta-alanine. So for your caffeine, it's usually somewhere around your 200 to 350, sometimes goes up to 375 to 400. Personally, I like sticking somewhere around your 200 to 350 range. Anything higher than that is a little bit too much for me. For citrulline malate, you sort of want somewhere around 6 to 8 grams per serving. So Total War here has 6 grams. That's pretty good. I've taken some others that are more potent. They have like 8 grams. But from 6 to 8, you're probably going to see some good benefits in terms of your pumps. The third main ingredient I like to look at is beta-alanine. So that's the one that gives you the tingles. That one you want somewhere around 2.5 to 3.2. This one seems to help more with aerobic performance. So if you're gonna do more cardio, or if you're gonna go for a longer session, the beta-alanine might help. So there are usually a lot of other ingredients in the pre-workout. Again, I'm not so sure what they do or how effective they are individually, but they might be helpful in terms of making like a proper synergy between your ingredients. Next question was, would I go for a proprietary blend or a non-proprietary blend? Definitely non-proprietary blend. You want to know what you're taking. So again, those ingredients, caffeine, beta-alanine, and citrulline malate, for me, those are the top 3 ingredients in your pre-workout. The thing about proprietary blends is that you usually don't know what's in it. You don't know how much of a certain ingredient is in there. So they become a little bit more unpredictable. You're not sure what's supposed to happen. Sometimes they just work, sometimes they don't. So I would just go with non-proprietary blends, stuff with ingredients that work. Third question here about pre-workouts. What are my top 5 pre-workouts? So in no particular order, it's this one, Total War. I also like Dymatize, pre-workout, pre-gym, so that's 3. Fourth one is Legion Pulse, and the 5th one is C4 Ultimate. So most of them have around the same dosages here. You got the citrulline malate between 6 to 8, beta-alanine 3.2. Your caffeine is usually between 250 to 350. Follow-up question to that was, what is the most bang for your buck pre-workout? So I think it's this one. This one I believe is 1.8 for 30 servings. The other ones are around 2.3 to 2.5 for 20 servings, something like that. So this one probably has the most value. Last question here is it okay to take pre-workouts fasted? So this depends on the person. Some people don't like it. They get a little bit gaggy. So if you're that type of person, just don't take your pre-workout. You might want to start with coffee. See if that works for you. But if taking pre-workout fasted doesn't have any negative effects, go ahead. Next supplement here, we have IntraBlast. So this is a BCAA and EAA supplement, orange mango flavor. So I took this today. It tastes really good. I'm not really a fan of intra-workout supplements, but this one's pretty nice. Usually you can find EAAs or BCAA supplements alone, but this one has both. So the first question about intra-workouts here is, are BCAAs useful? So BCAAs in isolation don't seem to show much promise. They're marketed as something that will increase your muscle protein synthesis, but apparently based on more recent research, that's not necessarily the case. It's also expensive, and contrary to the labels, they actually do contain calories. So they're not required to put the number of calories in it because they're not complete protein sources, but they do have calories. I think that's around 3.6 to 4 calories per gram of BCAAs. So you still might want to track those in. Next question here is BCAAs versus EAAs versus BCAAs plus EAAs. So I think based on the research here, it's BCAA plus EAA. They seem to perform similar to just your regular protein shake. So if you're lactose intolerant or if you just enjoy fruitier flavors, you might want to have your EAA plus BCAA supplements. Next one here, we have Nutrabio Classic Whey banana cream pie. So I also just tried it. It's over here. Mixability is really good. Flavor is pretty on point, I guess. It does taste like banana. I'm not a fan of banana, but I mean it tastes pretty good. It does seem a little bit watery, but I can't really complain. Again, free product. Thank you, Nutrition Depot. So just moving on to the questions here. Do I take whey on rest days? Yeah, I don't see why not. Again, if you're having trouble meeting your protein requirements from food, I do recommend drinking some whey protein. It's a very convenient way to get your calories in. Second question here is, do I need to take whey right after a workout? That's not really. That anabolic window thing, again, that doesn't really exist. So you can take it a couple of hours after your workout and you should be fine. However, if you do get hungry right after a workout, it's probably not a bad idea to have your whey protein right after. Next question here is, what is the best tasting whey protein? So for me, I think that is New Breed IntraBlast Cinnamon French Toast. So they taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Very good on its own, also very good as a smoothie. Most disgusting whey protein, I think I have two. The first one would be Optimum Nutrition Hydrolyzed Whey, birthday cake flavor. It's just so watery. It feels like you're drinking the water you used to wash a container where you stored a birthday cake. The second one here was BPI ISO HD Vanilla Cookie with the natural flavors. It kind of tastes a little bit sour. I'm not sure if that's just the sweetener they used. I'm pretty sure it's not spoiled, but it just tastes weird. So yeah, you might want to stay away from those. Thoughts on the following brands. So R1. R1 seems fairly cheap. Looks like it's good value. I wouldn't mind going for it. Nitrotech. I've tried it before. It's a little bit watery as well. That's also my problem with Optimum Nutrition. Last one here is about Muscle Farm Combat for cutting. So first, doesn't really matter if you're cutting or bulking. If you need to get your protein intake in, you can have your whey. In terms of Combat as a whey protein powder, I think it's really good. This is probably like the one with the best value for me. It tastes good, texture is good, mixability is good. Probably the best whey protein all around in my opinion. So the last thing we got over here was a Nutrition Depot tumbler. Alright, so I probably won't be using this yet. I still have my Shakespeare, which this is probably my favorite shaker ever. I did break the handle thing here, so if Nutrition Depot wants to give me a new one, I wouldn't mind. Alright, so I'll just move on to the last few questions here. What's your take on test boosters? Most of them are bullshit. I wouldn't take them. Probably not that effective either. Just save your money, get some creatine, get some pre-workout. You should be fine. Would you take caffeine pills instead of pre? Probably not. I like the other ingredients in my pre-workout. If I just wanted caffeine, I would just drink coffee. Greatest to least important supplements. So I think in terms of most important, probably start with creatine. And then because pre-workout, you can just have coffee. So the first one would be creatine, your second one would be pre-workout, the third one would be your whey protein, because again, you can just get your whey protein from your meat. So that's the third. Fourth one is, well, this is the only other supplement I'm taking. So this is a melatonin plus ZQL. It's just 2 mgs of melatonin plus chamomile extract, lemon balm, whatever. Helps me with my sleep. Very effective. I like it. In terms of the least important ones, I think that would be, again, your test boosters and your fat burners. So most of the fat burners, a little bit over marketed. Most of them aren't proven. Most of them don't actually make sense. So when you're buying fat burners, don't. So top supplements as a natural. Again, these things, second to the last question here, can you snort creatine? I'm sure other people have snorted more dangerous things. So yeah, I think you can snort your creatine. So I saved the best question for last here. Not really a question. BCAA coated fried chicken breast stuffed with glutamine is anabolic AF. Prove me wrong. Well, I guess that's a decent segue into saying it doesn't matter what I say. If you like taking something, let's say you like taking BCAAs because they taste good, go ahead. I can't really stop you from taking them. If you feel like fat burners help you, go ahead, go take them. I'm just giving you guys some recommendations based on my personal experience. Again, this is Grant from Iron Supply. I'd like to thank Nutrition Depot for sending over this package. I actually really needed a lot of these. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe. If you want to know more about other supplements, leave a comment. And thanks for watching. Peace.